Good morning, students. Today we have discussed about issue of shares. Okay. Now I presenting share screen. Now, what is meant by issue of shares? Discuss first company. What is meant by company? Okay. After that, you discuss issue of shares. Okay. What is meant by company? A company is an artificial person created by law having separate legal entity with a special section and a common seat. Okay. The next one. What is meant by characteristics of company? Okay. First one, incorporation. What is meant by incorporation? The certificate of incorporation of a company is issued by ROC. What is meant by ROC? Register of Company. As per guidelines given in the Company Act 2013, the law consider a company as an artificial legal person. So entire from individual persons. Okay. Then next one, separate legal entity. The company have a separate legal entity from its owners. Who is owner? Shareholders. Okay. The company is separate and the owner is separate. Okay. Then third one, perpetual existence. A company has perpetual existence not affected by the death, lunacy or insolvency of its shareholders. So, a shareholder is different and then company is different. Okay. It can be binding up only by law. The next one, a common seal. Every company has a common seal, which acts as the official signature of the company. The next one, transferability of shares. A public company can easily transfer the shares compared to the private company. Okay. The next one, limited liability. The liability of shareholders is limited to the unpaid value of his shares. For example, the face value of shares in a company is rupees 10 and the shareholder has already paid rupees 8 per share. Remaining how much he paid? Only 2 rupees. He can be called upon to pay not more than 2 per share. So only the shareholders paid only for 2 rupees because already paid 8 per share. So total value of the shares is 10 means you have paid 8 per share, remaining 2 only you paid. Okay. The next one, separation of management from ownership. The company is entirely separation from the shareholders. Okay, the shareholders are the true owner of the company, but usually the number of shareholders is quite large and such it is neither possible nor desirable for our members to take part in the day-to-day management of the company. Okay, the next one, difference between private and public company. The basic difference is number of members. In private company, minimum number is 2 and maximum number is 200. Okay, then compared to public company, minimum share person is 7 and then maximum limit is number no limit. So many of the shareholders come and exit. Then second one, invitation to the public. The private company cannot invite the public to subscribe with shares, but public company can subscribe the shares to shareholders. Okay, it can invite the public to subscribe to its shares. And third one, transfer of shares. In private company, restrictions on the transfer of shares are there. In a public company, there is no restrictions on the transfer of its shares. Okay. Next one, types of shares. Mainly, there are two types of shares. One is preference shares and then equity shares. Now discuss preference shares. The shares which get preferential right in respect of right of dividend. Then repayment of capital on winding up of the company. So compared to the equity shares, the preference shareholders, they get dividend first. Then repayment of capital on only for winding up of the company. Okay. Then second one, equity shares. The shares which are not preference shares are called equity shares and do not get a preference in above respect. That means the equity shares right of dividend is after getting a preference shares, then only we get a dividend. Then repayment of capital also. Okay. Then next one, Terms used in share capital. Okay. The first one, prospectus. It is an invitation to the public of a subscription of shares or debentures. Okay. Then next one, do you know the prospectus? It is an invitation to the public for subscription of shares and debentures. Okay. Then next one, capital. In case of company, money is contributed by public, and people who contributed money are called shareholders. And then third one, share capital. What is mean by share capital? Capital raised by issue of shares is called share capital. Okay. And then authorized capital. What is mean by authorized capital? It's also called nominal capital or registered capital. The maximum amount of capital of a company can issue. It is stated in the MOA. That is Memorandum of Association. இவ்வளோதான் அந்த கம்பெனி வந்து கேபிட்டலா இஷ்யூ பண்ணணும், அதாவது தட் மீன்ஸ் ஆத்தரைஸ் பண்ணணும் அப்படிங்கிற இன்ஃபர்மேஷன் என்ன பண்ணிருப்பாங்க, மெமரண்டம் ஆஃப் அசோசியேஷன்ல ஸ்டேட் பண்ணிருப்பாங்க. ஸோ அந்த லிமிட்டுக்கு மேல அவங்க என்ன பண்ணக்கூடாது, கேபிட்டலை ஆத்தரைஸ் பண்ணக்கூடாது. ஓகே. தென் நெக்ஸ்ட் ஒன், இஷ்யூடு கேபிட்டல். This is part of authorized capital which is offered to public for subscription. It cannot exceed authorized capital. That is, authorized capital is fixed. Okay. Then issued capital means authorized la one part enna pandranga, they can issue. Okay. Then next one, called up capital. It is the amount of nominal value of shares that has been called up by the company for payment by subscriber towards the shares. The next one, paid up capital. It is a part of called up capital that the members of company or shareholders have paid. Okay, so only the part of issued capital. Okay. The next one, reserve capital. It is a portion of uncalled share capital which can be called only in case of winding up of the company. Yes. The next one, capital reserve. It is a capital profit not available for distribution as a dividend. Yes. The next one, small example for issue of shares. Okay. Listen. AD Delhi Limited invite application for 20,000 equity shares of ₹10 each at the issue price of ₹10. The amount payable along with application is ₹10. That means the entire share amount is received when the application amount. Okay, the issue was fully subscribed. Show the balance sheet of the company. Then equity and liability la first one, shareholders fund. And shareholders fund la share capital. How much shares issued? 20,000 shares issued at ₹10 each. Up 20,000 into 10. How much? 2 lakh. 2 lakh is a share capital. Okay. So asset liability side over, then asset side, current asset. We get only cash. Yes. So cash and cash equivalent 2 lakh. Yes. Okay. Total is liability side 2 lakh and asset side 2 lakh. Then notes to account, share capital, authorized capital is equity shares of ₹10 each. And the issued capital, 20,000 equity shares of ₹10 each. Up 20,000 into 10. 2 lakh is the issued capital. Okay. Then subscribed capital, subscribed and fully paid. All shares are fully paid. But 20,000 equity shares of ₹10 each, 2 lakh. Then cash and cash equivalent, cash at bank current asset, 2 lakh. Yes. Okay. Then shares issued at par value. The shares, issue of shares at par. Listen, the shares are issued at par when they are issued at price equal to the face value. The share with a face value of ₹10 issued at a 10. Okay, not decline or above. Okay. The next one, issue of shares at premium. Listen, shares are issued at premium to the public by well-managed and financially strong companies through the IPO. Only the financial position of the company is good means a strong company, they can issue the shares at premium. Okay, only for initial public offering. Yes. The next one, called value is greater than the face value. For example, the face value of shares is 10, but issued value is 12 means and ₹2 is a premium. Yes. Okay. Then security premium reserve fund is made for this purpose. Then this premium can be called with any installment like application, allotment, first call and second call. In absence of information, the amount of premium is to be recorded at the time of allotment only. Listen carefully. The absence of information, the premium amount should be recorded at the time of allotment. Yes, okay. Uses of security premium reserve. The first one, under the section 52 of Company Act 2013, the amount of security premium reserve can be used for the following purposes. What are the purposes? Listen, the first one, to use fully paid bonus shares to the equity shareholders. So shareholders can they can issue the fully paid bonus shares. Okay, to buy back its own shares as per the section 68 own shares in buy back panikla. Then write off preliminary expenses, commission paid, discount allowed on issue of shares or debentures. Okay, they can use security premium reserve. Okay, then next one, what is mean by calls in arrear? It's referred to the amount which has not been paid by shareholders on allotment or calls made by the company till the last day fixed by the company for the payment. The company can charge interest at 10% per annum from the due date to the date of actual payment. That is the calls in arrears. Okay. Now, what is mean by calls in advance? The account is shown separately in the balance sheet. It's referred to the amount which has not called up by the company but has been paid by some shareholders in advance. Okay. The company required to pay the interest at 12% per annum. So listen, calls in arrears interest is 10% per annum. Calls in advance is 12% per annum. Okay, calls in arrears paid by shareholders to company. Calls in advance, the company paid to the shareholders. Yes. Okay. The next one, one person company, OPC. The Company Act 2013 introduced a new type of entity to existing this one person company. Okay, the company means a private limited company with only person as its member, only one person. Okay, only natural person who is citizen of India can be member of OPC. Its minimum paid up capital is 1 lakh. It can be formed for business as well as charitable purpose. Okay. The next one, normal subscription. What is mean by normal subscription? Okay, sometimes by change, the number of shares applied by the public is same as the number of shares offered by the company. This situation is known as normal subscription. So, the company issued, for example, the company issued a 10,000 equity share to the public. The entire 10,000 shares are subscribed. That means public are offering. Okay, that means normal subscription. Okay, then under subscription. Under subscription is a situation, shares applied less than the shares offered. Okay. That means under subscription. The number of shares applied for is less than the shares offered to the public for subscription. All the applications for shares are accepted. Accounting entries are made on the basis of shares applied for by the public rather than the offered for. Okay. Then minimum subscription. Section 39, it is the amount which must be subscribed by the public. According to the Company Act, minimum subscription has been fixed at 90% of the invited amount. This is minimum subscription. Then over subscription. What is meant by over subscription? Shares are issued to the public by well-managed and financially strong companies through the IPO. Asset premium issued. Okay. The over subscription is a situation when shares applied greater than the shares offered. Okay, the board of directors cannot allot shares more than that offered to the public for subscription. And then over subscription, three alternatives are there. The first alternative was rejection of application. That is reject pandra. Okay, then second alternative, pro rata allotment. Then third alternative, full allotment to some applicants only. Okay. Accounting treatment in case of alternative one, that is reject. The entry is share application account data to share capital to bank. The two bankers rejected amount. Okay. Then new application money is transferred to share capital. Excess money of rejected application is refunded. That is alternative one. And the second one was share application account to share capital to share allotment to share calls in advance. Only allotment we can change or calls in advance. Okay, due application amount is transferred to share capital. That is application money is transferred. Original application amount is transferred to capital. Then excess money on application transferred to only share allotment and the balance is transferred to calls in advance. Okay. And then oversubscription, third alternative, that is the share application account data to share capital to share allotment to calls in advance to bank. Due application amount is transferred to share capital. Then the due amount, application due amount is transferred to share capital is first credit, and then second one, excess on money, application transferred to share allotment account. The balance is transferred to calls in advance, and the excess money of rejected application is refunded. Yes. Okay. Okay, thank you.